Is this straight? I mean, I'm not, but is this? Hey everyone, it's me, Catherine, and today I'm here to bring you a book review. It's been a while. I think the last one I did was The Gaskell, and I feel like that was near the beginning of the year, but I can't remember. But anyway, today I'm here to talk about North and South by Elizabeth Gaskell. This, honestly, I'm going to be honest, I did not think I would get this finished before the end of the year. I was like practically halfway through, I think, and then I thought, you know what, I don't think I'm going to get this finished, and then I started reading it at the weekend again, and it just got to a bit that it just hooked me, and so I finished it. I stayed up late, it was. Anyway, I stayed up late to finish it, which is another thing I haven't done in a while. I only now stay up late to read fanfic. It's been a while since I've stayed up late to actually finish a book because I needed to get to the end, and oh my god, I loved this so much. And I know I just said, like, I did not think I was going to get this finished. Like, it was taking me a while to get through it. But let's talk about what it's about first. So, North and South was first published in 1855. Okay, so this is set in like the 1800s, okay? We're following Margaret Hale, who grew up in the South in like a more rural area. Like, she lived like a fairly laid back, fairly comfy, idyllic sort of life. Like, obviously not everything was grand, everyone has their problems, but it was sort of like there was nothing major, you know what I mean? It was mostly just her mother complaining about how rural where they lived was, like, and how it wasn't good for her and stuff, until her father makes a decision which means that they have to move, and they end up moving to Milton, a town in the north full of mills, factories, that sort of place. And obviously they hate it. Like, this is like when industry was like really starting and stuff, you know, like there's smoke everywhere in like the main in like the cities and stuff and the towns, and obviously the air is awful. It's awful. Like, there's soot everywhere, like it ruins it like gets in your clothes and your skin and all that. It's that sort of place. And it's Margaret and her family trying, failing, successfully, settling into this new place and getting to know the people there, and specifically one Mr. John Thornton, who is a big, gruff, rough factory owner. Does he own the factory? They call him a master, and I think like he runs the factory. And naturally, him and Margaret don't quite see eye to eye, and it's their story of like their like getting to, I don't know, say like getting to know each other. Like, when they cross paths, it's them sort of like getting to know the other person and adjusting, and it's romance. It's romance, and then but outside of that romance is also the lives of the people of Milton and the workers in the mills and the factories or whatever, and how they're treated and how their life is and things like that. And it's fairly heavy in that regard. If like that sort of side of it is not it for you, like the romance is, I really enjoy it. It's exactly my kind of romance build. It's exactly what I love. And I also really enjoy that it's set around this sort of place, this sort of atmosphere is not the word I'm looking for. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, because there's a strike being planned and built up because the workers, because the union obviously is like, hey, you need better wages for what you're doing, and the masters are like, actually no. And it's sort of built up around the strike and sort of the politics, I guess, of how these mills are run and how the workers are treated and things like that. So that's a big part of this book, in the thing that's going on in Milton, and how Thornton and Margaret come together, butt heads around this, and we see some growth from both of them throughout this story. I feel like Margaret's isn't quite as obvious as Thornton's is. Like, the growth that we see from Thornton is very clear towards the end of the book. Margaret, I feel it's there, but I feel like it's not as anywhere near as obvious. But I really enjoy, because we get both perspectives. It's told in third person, and a lot of it is from Margaret and Margaret's life and every day, but we do get snippets of other people's perspectives within that. Thornton's is probably the second biggest, I would imagine, but we also get from her father and Thornton's mother. We do get a couple of that, and a couple of other characters occasionally. We do get to see some of their perspective in this, which I really enjoyed. And just overall, it's good. Like this, I picked this up because people said it was good, and then I actually looked into what it was, and I basically, someone said Industrial Pride and Prejudice, and you know what? It's not wrong. It's not wrong, but it's certainly a lot heavier than Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice is about the connections with people. What the fuck did I just knock off? Pride and Prejudice is more about the marriage and the relationship and the building friendship romance, whereas this is that mixed in with the politics of how everything's run and how these people live in their day-to-day and their working conditions. Working conditions, I was trying to think of that earlier and I could not. Working conditions is what I meant. And we have Margaret getting to know some of like the locals, because she's getting to know the locals, the workers, as well as Thornton. She sort of is getting, maybe not the clearest, but she's definitely getting a look at both sides. And because she doesn't understand, what I do like about Margaret is she's not afraid to express her opinion, and she has an idea of knowing when she's talking about things that she is ignorant about, and like saying, well, I excuse me if this is like just me being ignorant, but what about this? Whoop! What about this or whatever? And she shows like a great interest in everything that's going on around her, and I really like that about her. Like she takes note. She takes note. She notices certain things. Certain things not so much, but she certainly takes note of what's going on around her, and she tries to understand and tries to better herself, I guess, which I really like. Like, even when she has no business getting in other people's business, she does, and she maybe knows, like, she's aware that she probably shouldn't be doing this, but something in her just can't stop, and she's self-aware to a certain degree about that, and I really like that about her. I also feel kind of bad for her, because at the start, she's like 19, and she's basically having to parent her parents. And no child should ever have to parent their parents like that, because that's not what... So she's got that going on, as well as this whole other thing with being compared, which is very unfair, to her older brother, who is not in the picture, for reasons that are explained in the book. It's not like major spoilers, but I'm not going to talk about it just in case people don't want to be spoiled for that. And because he does come to play a part a bit later in the book, and... it's good. No, it's good. And while the end is certainly sort of abrupt, I didn't hate it. Okay, I felt like it ended. Like, maybe a lot of people would want more. I could see people wanting more. And I would certainly not hate getting more from that ending. But it had me... no, it was good. It was good. And I enjoyed it a lot. So like I said, like, if you enjoy Pride and Prejudice, and you're okay with like sort of like heavy topics being discussed in like old English, like an older version of English, and with some of it being written accented and with like old dialect that maybe not used so much now, like it's old like dialect that's not like standard English. Like there's standard olden day English, right, which is what you sort of get used to. Like, it's a headache, but you sort of adjust to it. And then you get a classic that just throws in someone who's from, like, someone from the north who has a different accent, and the author attempts to write their speech in that accent while also using, like, words that they use that aren't used in everyday standard English. British English? English. So, like, yeah, that was my biggest problem was when we hit the north and we get a few of the characters. Thornton doesn't, because he's a master. He's a bit more well off, so he talks in English that everyone would probably recognise. Whereas then you get Higgins is the Higginses are the most seen, the ones that we most see and hear from. Like, they talk in accented English, like a different accent, or non-standard accented English. I should say that, because everyone has an accent, it's all accented, but it's like non-standard English. Some sort of northern accented English with their vocabulary that they use, which is just an extra headache. It's not quite as bad as Wuthering Heights, I don't know if you've ever read Wuthering Heights. I mean, I didn't like Wuthering Heights, but a lot of that was, like, some of that was definitely down to, was it the groundskeeper, the gardener? I hate when people try to write in an accent to try and to portray the accent that the person's speaking in, because I've yet to see it done particularly well, because it's hard. If you are unfamiliar with the accent, if you don't really know the accent that it's trying to portray, it's kind of hard. Like, I did get a grasp on this, like, the accent wise, like what they were saying, so it wasn't too bad, but it was hard work for my brain. And so that is one thing I will say, but overall I really enjoyed this, and it was basically as promised, Industrial Pride and Prejudice, and I love it so much. So much that I am going to talk spoilers. I do have a separate video that I want to do, that I'm going to do immediately after this, where I'm going to talk some spoilers. Like, I don't know if it'll be coherent. I don't know if any of my spoilery chats have ever been like a coherent thing. It's usually just me gushing and like just mumbling. I have notes so I don't forget things, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed this. Definitely like it a lot, and will definitely look forward to rereading, especially now that I know what happens, because there were a couple of moments where I had to just like quickly Google, just like, hey, how does this bit play out? Because if I don't know if I can read if it doesn't play out how I want it to, so I had to do that. But now that I know everything that goes on, it's fine. I can read this. It'll be fine. And I'll adjust even more to the speech of the Milton lot. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. And there's even, right, a little one-sided, like, unrequited thing going on with one of the, like, very minor characters, like, right at the beginning, and then towards the end of the story, like, he sort of comes, and no, I love that. I love me a little bit of unrequited from a side character that I'm not particularly fond of, that sort of, like, thinks they maybe stand a chance, and it's like, mate. So yeah, there is a little bit of that which just added, it was just like the cherry on top of this industrial cake. I don't know. But anyway, no, that is gonna be it for this review. It was a review. I reviewed it. I definitely reviewed it. I liked it. It is good, and like I said, if you don't mind the focus on a lot of the lives and the working conditions and things and what's going on with the mills and stuff, like, because that's a big focus in this. Like, if you don't mind that, give this a go. Give it a go. It's good. No, it's good. But yeah, so that's gonna be it from me. Thanks so much for watching. Do let me know if you've read North and South in the comments, and then come talk to me in the spoilery bit. Like, come talk to me, because it's so good. It's so good. But yeah, no, so that's it. Thanks so much for watching. All of my appropriate links, all the links for my socials and whatnot are in the description of this video for you to check out if you would like to do so. Like, my coffee's down there, my Twitch, Twitter. But until next time, wait, no, that's not how I do this. But until next time, kids. No, hold on, but apart from that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day wherever you are, and I will see you in another video soon. Bye!